No Nuremberg Toy Fair in January 2021 because of COVID, so let's go virtual. So no Nuremberg Toy Fair this year, so we're doing a virtual Toy Fair on cranes, etc. And today I'm talking to Milo Weiss of Weiss Brothers. Now, Milo, you don't normally go to the Toy Fair in Nuremberg, I don't think.
Correct.
So where are you based?
Well, this is my first year in Nuremberg. So virtually. Anyways, we are out of Wisconsin, right in between Green Bay and Milwaukee, right on Lake Michigan. And it just seems to be a nice location in the middle of the United States, centralized, and you got a little bit of everything everywhere.
Good. So how looking back through 2020, obviously there was something, what was it? There was a pandemic apparently. How was it for Weiss Brothers?
So we were in Las Vegas Con Expo when it was, just beginning. And I remember at the airport, gentleman was all dressed up, had the face shield, a mask. I looked at him like, wow, what is going on here? And, to see many months later, a lot of people walking around like that, always having a mask with me, always forgetting it, not able to go into the store. I forgot a mask, so that's definitely a different world that we're in now, whether it's warranted or not. I hear it on both ends, but try to respect other people, really. But I do remember it was actually the Saturday, or it was the day before Con Expo was supposed to end. I did have a flight out that day and was able to leave, but it did shut down a day early.
Yes.
And I know everyone was very thankful to be out of there in time. Everyone was afraid of being stuck in airports, and you always see those scenes of people laying all over the floors.
Yes.
So, anyways, we were able to get out in time, but
well, that's quite good because I was at Con Expo, although I only went for the first day because I was a little bit concerned about how things were being run there, and a little bit nervous. So I was only, but after Con Expo, we just stayed in the area. Actually, went over to Flagstaff for a few days, and then back to Vegas to fly out. And things were getting a bit intense by that time. In fact, we were on the last flight out of Las Vegas back to Europe. So, yeah, it was all getting a bit nervous there.
Right.
How about for you on the business side?
Definitely, I don't know if anyone would have been, not concerned, just from trying to look into the crystal ball of 2020. It was. You do, talk to the bank, make sure, okay, you understand this is going on. There's, obviously the country was trying to help out folks with a protection, So, as much as we, I felt, needed to go down that route just in case. That's about as far as we went. But it surprisingly, it was day to day. It was busy. There was a few days where things kind of slowed down, but the communication, we just brought on Komatsu a little bit more stronger at the time. There was new product development, so really I can't believe it's over already.
Yes.
So it did go pretty quick, and we weren't really affected, even though we thought we were going to be very affected, because typically, I know that a lot of collectors were at home, and I understand that there was a jump in collector sales. That was not something that we were going to anticipate either, because typically that's the first budget that gets thrown out the window in a crisis.
Yes.
I did have a few guys have to cancel their orders. When it comes to collectors, we brought in a couple big items from overseas, over in Europe, and a couple folks would have to, because of this, I have to cancel this. But that's fine because there was others there to snatch it up.
Okay.
So it seemed to work real well. But like I said, I can't believe it's already 2021.
Yeah.
It very, very fast.
Yeah, and normally I suppose I know that you often travel to China as you go about your business, but presumably all that went by the wayside.
That was definitely something that that affected us. We weren't able to do the trips over to Hong Kong and into China and meet with our factories and the owners and engineers. But a lot of folks know already, but some don't. I used to work for TWH, and I still use a lot of those relationships from the TWH time. And the relationships are very strong, that we can conduct business similar like we are right now, with product development, or any reviews, or even quoting. Quoting can always be a challenge from opposite ends of the world.
Yes.
Because there's so many things to evaluate when you're looking at quoting function and what level of detail. But with being at TWH, there was a standard that we set.
Yes.
And these factories know what that standard is. So if I say, if you remember the TWH standard, and I'm talking about the model,
yes,
that's where we want to be at, And there's obviously things that have changed. Costs have gone up.
Yes.
There is a middle class emerging over in China, and that requires more money to be brought in for those people. And nothing wrong with that. It just means that prices are going to go up.
Yes.
And we I think we balance it quite well.
Yes. And if you have a quick look forward to 2021 and maybe a little bit beyond, how do you see the market and scale model market going?
Same. So I don't know. If I place myself back in 2020, okay, what is this going to look like? Where's the crystal ball? I don't know what's going to happen. The construction market is the thing that's really going to drive construction collector sales. So I want to see the construction end of our country increase and maintain. But the same with bringing on a Komatsu, or even some of the other mining companies that we're working with. A few days ago, I did have a conversation, and we're looking at another mining piece. So I'm optimistic.
I suppose we all hope that the worst is over, and we see better times ahead, don't we, really? So Let's hope we do. Now, Nuremberg Toy Fair is where the model makers like to show us the new products they're about to introduce, or sometimes the hand samples of what's in development. So in this version, which seems to be the Wisconsin Toy Fair, what new stuff have you got for us? Anything you could tell us about?
Yeah, so I have a few items here, and obviously I got, we talked earlier, I do have one that's with a customer that we'll put on the screen. But so for the first one, I do have a 12CM27, which is a underground coal miner. And obviously there it is on the screen, beautiful. That is it was Joy Global, but now purchased by Komatsu. 12CM27 that will be out this year. Along with that is the 18 HD, which I have here. It's an underground unit where the operator actually sits sideways, so he can go forward and backwards without having to crank around. But very, very similar to. As we were quoting it, it was funny that they were saying it's very similar size to the L1850, and it's not. It's much smaller, much lower, but similar to that, you have the rear, just trying to stay consistent with that level of detail. Of course, you got the SR drive, which is the big seller for these hybrid units. So that will be out as well. And then another piece of mining equipment is the 77XR. And this is not a TWH with the paint stripped off. This is definitely a Weiss brother model. Of course, with the solid boom, but it also will do angle drilling. So it's a very unique setup where you have multiple access with these pistons, but it locks into position. You can lock it into a 5 degree, 10 degree, all the way to 30 degree drilling. But the detail inside is gorgeous, and there's not going to be a cover to it, like the Bucyrus had. But it really going to turn out nice. And this is obviously not the color. This is a we call it the EP sample, which is the engineering prototype. So that's really just all unpainted right there.
So that kind of model, I mean, it looks very complex as you showed it to us there. How long would it take to develop a model like that?
This one's been taking a long time, actually, but we did have a little bit of challenge and opportunity in the I guess the 3D file capabilities and the translations and taking out. So I couldn't go to the actual place that this was being made because it didn't exist. So it was currently, the real machine was being developed as we were developing the model.
Oh, right, okay.
And
so is the real machine developed from the model, or is the model developed from the real machine?
I like to say that both of them got designed from the brains of the engineers at the same time, and that's what it seemed like. We had a lot of fun, and thankfully Komatsu Mining's in Milwaukee, 30 minutes from here. So I was down there almost every 2 weeks, meeting with the engineers, showing them the updated designs on on the 3D model, and they said, "Oh yeah, by the way, that's gone now." "Oh yeah, by the way, that there's a gusset there." So it was. However, it's important to get it right.
Yeah.
And
they are the more challenging development projects, I guess, where you're actually doing it in parallel with the real machine being developed,
right?
Rather than one that's actually out on the market, a real machine's being sold on the market, and you then make a model of it, because at least it's settled down by then.
And at some point, we need to take a snapshot and say, "Okay, this is what it's going to be."
Yeah.
And that's what we did.
Yeah.
So that I'm very excited about that one.
Rough time scale for that one, Milo?
That's going to be this year. That'll be this year for sure.
Okay.
And let's see, I have a bucket similar to the ESCO bucket. Now, as you see, this is the lower profile. This is a company out of Australia. Previously CQMS Razor. Now it is CR Mining. And it'll have, I believe, 3 different liveries. And this is a OEM project. I was able to grab about 50 of each for the collector market. And this is obviously one of those that you flip upside down, you throw on a Drake trailer, and it's, you Google it and it's all over. The Drake trailer pulling these massive buckets. And I think a person, ends up being about this tall, and you get this massive bucket. And this is the scale, you know what I mean? That's the cool thing, to see a huge. And I think that's part of the fun with collecting. Is having all the different range of products out there to scale.
And that bucket, just to clarify, that will be a die cast. That's a die cast model.
Correct. Yeah. This one right here is actually just the 3D print of it that they were able to send to me. But it will definitely be die cast. And all the graphics, the CQMS back then had the mouth graphic on the.
Yes.
And one of them is going to have the gold grill on one of the buckets, and that's one of their designs. So it's kind of cool. I like that. I like that kind of stuff. It's a great company.
And does it will it come like that, or will it be the chains with it, or is it?
This one's going to be pretty much just like this one.
Yeah. Okay.
Just like I showed you.
Just for transport mode, basically.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. And then I guess the most recent one that I announced, even I think on our Facebook, is this is a local trailer company, and this will fit onto the Sword F-250, the little pintle hitch on the front. But this is a local company that they build their own aluminum trailers.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought, it'd be cool to have a little trailer behind that. Now, obviously, I think First Gear came out with one that's really nice. I had this in development, before, and I may probably at the same time or whatever, but it was just, I thought it would be nice to have one as well to come out with, to partner with, Chuck's,
yes,
this third model,
and presumably you'll make that in some different colors and all the rest of it.
Yeah. So right. The funny thing is, this is meant to be an aluminum trailer, and that's why it's silver. But I did get permission to have some different colors to it as well.
Right, okay.
So because I didn't want to possibly disrupt their the local company here. It's actually called Merschberger Trailers, but I didn't want to disrupt their intent for the model. If they would say no, it's only aluminum, you can only have silver.
Yeah.
Okay, that's what we do then. But having have some black ones, white ones, red ones, whatever.
Yes.
That's still up in the air. Colors are still up in the air on this one.
Okay.
But I'm real happy with the way it looks. Very happy with the way it looks.
And how far away is that one, do you think, in time?
That one should be within 2 or 3 months.
Okay.
From now.
Okay.
Yeah. And then I guess the last thing that is going to be this year, I'm pretty sure everyone by now have seen Saren's came out with a 4100 from Weiss Brothers. It is the tooling from TWH. There are a few differences. The tracks on the old TWH used to be all painted black, and the louvers on the engine house used to be open. So what we've done is closed the louvers, and that way you can put logos over the side of that, a little bit, more readable and easier. And the tracks that are painted black are going to be painted on the Saren's they're yellow, but on the other versions that are coming out, they're going to be that black nickel. That are most of the Manitowoc models are painted that color, or the process of putting that color on. But cannot tell you what colors are coming out.
No, but you've got a number in the works that you're planning to bring.
Yeah, we have a number of them. Yeah.
Now, rough time scales for that?
That I believe is going to be let's see, April, May, probably April or May.
Okay.
Pretty soon.
And you'll be announcing, obviously, on your website once, on your Facebook when you've got your colours.
Yep, correct.
When you've been down the paint shop.
That's right. Yeah.
Good. Okay, well that's actually don't mind me saying it's a surprisingly good array of new models you've got in development.
There's a lot of stuff here. Keeps me busy.
Yeah, good. Okay, well, I think the important thing that a lot of collectors will have noted is that you're aiming for the TWH standard, because obviously they set a very high standard, and you work there, so you know a very high standard for detail and functionality. And if you hit that, then you'll be doing really well, I think.
Yeah. No, I mean, this is stuff that I love doing. I love doing this stuff, and it's easy. Thankfully, I'm very thankful for that. It's easy to get up in the morning and come here and do this type of stuff. So when I get feedback, and boy, I got to tell you, it's 99% of the time it's positive. I will get some that'll say this part's broken, or and that happens. But to get a new part sent out as soon as possible or whatever, that they're happy then. But yeah, 99% of the time, probably even higher, it's positive feedback, and that really makes me feel good.
Okay, Milo, thank you very much for running through all of that with us. Wish you well for the rest of the year. Stay safe, stay well.
You as well. Good talking to you.
Yeah, thank you very much.